Why most health advice fails in real life. Most people who struggle with their health are not careless, they are not ignorant, and they are not lacking willpower. They are trying to follow advice that was never designed for real human lives. Everywhere you look, health advice sounds confident and simple. Eat less, exercise more, sleep 8 hours, avoid sugar, stay disciplined, be consistent. On paper, this advice sounds reasonable. In controlled environments, it often works. But real life is not controlled. Real life is unpredictable. It is stressful. It is emotionally demanding. It is mentally exhausting. And that is exactly where most health advice quietly falls apart. When it fails, people rarely question the advice. They question themselves. They think they are lazy, they think they are weak, they think they lack discipline. From a medical perspective, this is one of the most harmful misunderstandings in modern health culture. The problem is not the person. The problem is that most health advice ignores how the human body actually functions under real-world conditions. Health advice is usually built around ideal assumptions: stable sleep, predictable routines, low stress, plenty of recovery, consistent energy. But patients do not live ideal lives. Some work long hours, some work night shifts, some care for families. Some live under constant financial pressure. Some carry emotional stress they have normalized. Some are mentally exhausted long before they are physically tired. When advice assumes ideal conditions, it becomes fragile. It works only when life is calm and predictable. The moment stress increases or sleep becomes irregular, the advice stops working. Not because the person failed, because the advice was incomplete. One of the biggest reasons health advice fails is because it treats the body like a machine. Put the correct input in, and the correct output should follow. Eat fewer calories and weight should drop. Exercise more and fitness should improve. Sleep earlier and energy should return. But the human body is not a machine. It is a biological survival system. Its primary goal is not weight loss, productivity, or performance. Its primary goal is safety. The body constantly evaluates its environment. It looks for threat. It looks for uncertainty. It looks for energy availability. When it senses instability, it adapts defensively. Metabolism slows, energy is conserved, recovery is delayed, non-essential processes are reduced. This is not dysfunction. This is intelligent physiology. Health advice that ignores this reality often produces frustration instead of progress. Another major problem is one-size-fits-all advice. Not all nervous systems respond the same way. Intermittent fasting may improve clarity for someone with good sleep and low stress. The same fasting may worsen dizziness, fatigue, anxiety, and blood sugar instability in someone already exhausted. High-intensity exercise may build resilience in a rested body. In a chronically stressed body, it may increase inflammation and deepen burnout. Waking up early may improve structure for one person; for another, it silently worsens sleep debt and hormonal regulation. The advice itself may not be wrong, the context is missing. Another critical misunderstanding is the belief that motivation controls health. Biology does not respond to motivation. It responds to signals. Sleep quality, stress hormones, energy availability, inflammation levels, nervous system balance. A highly motivated person can still be exhausted. Another person can feel stable with minimal effort. This is not a personality issue. It is physiological context. You cannot motivate your way out of chronic sleep deprivation. You cannot discipline your way out of prolonged stress. You cannot willpower your way out of hormonal imbalance. When advice ignores this, it creates shame. People try harder. They restrict more. They push further. The body responds by protecting itself. Progress stalls. Intensity is often confused with effectiveness. Extreme plans feel serious. Strict diets, aggressive workouts, rigid schedules. They often produce quick results. But quick results are not sustainable results. Intensity raises stress hormones. Short-term change feels productive. Long-term strain accumulates quietly. The body responds by conserving energy. Appetite increases. Recovery slows. Motivation fades. This is not sabotage, it is survival. Health improves through repetition under tolerable stress, not through constant pressure. Consistency matters more than intensity. Small actions repeated calmly outperform extreme actions done briefly. This is not exciting advice, but it is medically accurate. Mental load is another factor most health advice ignores. Mental effort consumes energy. Constant thinking, decision-making, planning, worry, information overload. Many patients are mentally exhausted long before they are physically tired. Health advice often adds more cognitive load. Tracking, counting, monitoring, optimizing. Eventually, the system collapses. People think they failed the plan. In reality, the plan overloaded their nervous system. Sustainable health reduces decision-making. It simplifies routines. It removes friction instead of adding more rules. If a plan requires constant mental effort, it will eventually fail. Recovery is also widely misunderstood. Many health plans focus only on doing more exercise, more discipline, more restriction. Ignoring recovery while increasing effort leads to burnout, disguised as self-improvement. This is why many people feel worse after becoming serious about health. Their system was already strained. The advice added demand without increasing capacity. The body responded intelligently by conserving energy. This is often labeled as laziness. In reality, it is protection. Health advice also fails because it treats symptoms instead of systems. Weight gain is treated as a calorie problem. Fatigue is treated as a motivation problem. Poor focus is treated as a productivity problem. High blood sugar is treated as a food problem. But these are outcomes, not causes. They reflect interactions between sleep, stress, hormones, inflammation, and nervous system balance. Fixing one variable while ignoring the system rarely works. This is why people move from plan to plan. Each plan addresses one factor while another remains broken. Health becomes confusing. Advice feels contradictory. Trust erodes. Eventually, people disengage entirely. Another major reason health advice fails is fear-based messaging. Fear creates urgency. Urgency creates short-term compliance. But fear destroys sustainability. Fear increases stress hormones. It narrows thinking. It pushes people toward extremes. Health built under fear is fragile. The body improves best under calm, predictable conditions. That is why clarity works better than pressure. Understanding works better than control. When people understand why their body behaves the way it does, Compliance becomes natural. There is no need to force, no need to scare, no need to obsess. Health becomes cooperation instead of control. So, what actually works? Health advice works when it respects biology, when it adapts to context, when it prioritizes recovery, when it reduces mental load, when it favors consistency over intensity, when it explains systems instead of issuing commands. Most importantly, health advice works when it removes blame. If something is not working, the solution is not shame. The solution is adjustment. Your body is not broken. It is responding logically to its environment. When the environment changes, behavior follows naturally. This is why most health advice fails in real life. Not because people are weak, but because the advice ignores how real life actually works. In the next video, we'll look closely at how stress quietly damages the body over time, even when it doesn't feel severe or obvious.